Hey, Michael here. Welcome back to my Lego room, basement, studio, place where I make YouTube videos about my really pretty big Lego city right behind me there. It's called Brickland. If you're new here, this channel is Rebricks, and on it I usually make city updates, buildings I've built, little adjustments I make to parts of the city that I've been building for 3 years, believe it or not. It's funny because my initial plan was to do something different once a year, and I got a full-time job. I've got 3 kids. I'm married. I'm just busy. I don't get to spend that much time in there as I would want. And then making the videos for it, makes it take longer. I love doing the videos, so I'm not going to stop that. It's as much fun making the videos as it is building and playing with toys. So I'm going to keep doing that. But like I said, this video is going to be different, but I will still update the city towards the end of the video. I just don't have a ton of content to do that, so I thought I'd pair that with a room tour. So let's get to it. So this is my work desk. This is where I do my day job. Over here is the parts wall. This is just a hodgepodge of various storage drawers that I've collected over the years. I built this middle one I built custom, and it had wheels on it initially, but I took them off so that I could fit these on top within the ceiling. And then these old bookshelves came from an old bookstore that was going out of business. Eventually I'm going to, I say eventually, who knows if this will ever happen, but I want to build these into the wall, and I'll either just repurpose all these drawers or sell them to some other, probably a Lego fan, so that I can just maximize the space. I would like to keep as much of all these drawers on this wall as can be. It's super convenient, and I do have more. There's stuff over here, and that's, I also want to custom build something in here to maximize this space, get this light out of the way. Generally, I stick one element type to a drawer, and they're vaguely organized near each other. So like all the bricks, you see there's the 1x1s, and then there's 1x2s, and so all the bricks are around here. I think tiles are sort of down there. I've got like snot pieces around here, clips and bars and stuff are around there. I got like hinge stuff, sockets, rounded bits are like here and over here. Technic is like all up there. And then angle wedge type pieces. And it's just kind of, there's just stuff all over. In general, that's true, but you run out of space and just kind of have to fit stuff where they can go. There's pieces in there, and then over on the other side of my fireplace, which, yes, this is a real fireplace, and it connects to the one above in the main room. One time we did have a real fire, but it was like we had a purposeful fire in the fireplace, but all the smoke got sucked down into this room, so we don't do that anymore. But it does make for a cool display thing. I don't keep much on display. I can't make myself take these apart, but I have taken apart pretty much every other display set that I ever have, and I eventually, they end up in boxes, but then eventually they will go into somewhere here. But I have Overflow. Not everything fits on the wall. This is mostly minifig stuff. Like minifig items and like things that you hold and stuff like that. And then all the minifig like heads, and I have those I actually keep in separate boxes over here because my kids will take them out and put them on this table and make people. It's easier to do it on this table. Yeah, so then there's more overflow storage here. Back there it used to be just this one, but now I have this because my old desk, which I need to figure out what I'm going to do with. Part of it sat on that one, and I don't. It fits, but now I can't walk by quite as easily. It used to be a lot better to walk through here. I could use that desk, and actually filming with my phone, and my wife called and turns the camera off. But what I was saying is I could put the desk here, but I like being able to walk back here. And I also, if I add that much more space, I will never finish this thing. So yeah, back over here. So this table, this is one of the new things that I added. So really, I got this, but this is all new as well. All of this stuff, either the last video or even the video before the last one, that used to be back there, and this table used to be turned this way, and there was like a tiny little gap over here to get by, and then all the pieces were back there, and so I would have to scooch back here and grab it, and I'll come all the way out here, and it was just a nightmare. So putting everything out here, it's all really accessible. I got to do a lot of bending over to reach the lower stuff, but it's not a huge deal. But having this table here is incredible because you can open it up and you can add, it's kind of hard to do one-handed, but there's this little thing, and then all of my organization Thai food containers. We love Thai food, and I just wash out the takeout containers and use them to store things and to organize things. This is a quilting table, so it's not. I don't really like this for filming on, but I might eventually might try to sand it off or paint it white or something. But it also opens up to be quite a bit bigger, and so I can just rotate my chair over, I do a lot of sorting and stuff here, but building as well. This is where I filmed all of the stuff for the record store mock that I recently completed. This is what we're going to be putting into the city here in a minute. So this is the basic setup. I can build stuff here. I bring this light over. Usually I'll roll this over closer to here to take advantage of these lights. These are just lights that I bought from Craigslist. They're like photography, videography lights. I can tweak the color, but the main thing was that I wanted white light because I think that reflects the color of the Lego best on camera. So yeah, this is the table. This is about 40 square feet. It's 4 IKEA tables that I wedged together, and then I expanded them by the width that was necessary so that I could put, I think it's 6 base plates evenly, so there's minimal overlap on the sides rather than cut the base plates, which probably excessive, but yeah. So for the most part, Brickland consists of modified modular buildings. You probably recognize a number of these, but let's see. So this is Assembly Square. I made it taller, and I mirrored in both these two buildings, made them a little bigger. That was fun. And then obviously the fountain and stuff, I lowered the fountain so there's steps down to it. I added this middle street here and the street over there. I made the Natural History Museum, I made it wider. I didn't make it taller, I just made it wider. and added, I raised the whole thing up on this like foundation, and then extended the fence around the side. Kind of made it a, I don't know, a double corner building, and made the staircase more grand. I also always flip the color of the sidewalk. I don't know if that's just an American thing or something, but our sidewalks are lighter than the color of the streets. So I just think that looks visually more appealing. Made this big old cherry tree to match the one in the front, and added some other ones just to do that. There's, you know, some modern art sorts of things here. This one was fun to make. And then sort of a path. I'm gonna be have a lot more foliage to add that I didn't have when I initially filmed this, so I'm gonna be tweaking that a lot. And then there's a little subway, or, you know, train station right next to this train station. This is the one that this train station is something I'm particularly pleased with, how it turned out. The video that I made on that, initially it was about a third bigger than this, but when I added the jazz club building, which I did actually modify, even though it doesn't really look like it, I'll show you that in a second, but it was too big. The train platform was too big, so I made it smaller to fit a little better with that. If you go, so the way that I modified that was I took the chimney here and I rotated it 90, so really minor. I had to rotate the greenhouse to make it fit, but I really like this little archway, hallway, pathway to get into the middle. Eventually this is going to be like a courtyard. I envision, you know, more buildings here and here and here. That's where the record store is going to go. It'll be like a, you know, just a shared like backyard, courtyard. There might be, I'm thinking a big tree in the middle, something like that. Got this train tunnel, probably one of the cooler things I've made. You can't really see, it's dark, but it is complete all the way through. Those two tunnels join together underneath this raised platform and comes out over on this side. I do have a whole video about that as well. And then all the rock work, cliff stuff. I started over there. There's a video about that. And then there's probably like 2 videos that have to do with this, but this is Brick Mountain, I guess. I don't know, but there's a path that goes up here, and then kind of switchbacks up to here to the top. And then I built this tree. I think I did this off camera. It wasn't part of the video, but I don't know if I like it or not. So, but it's there for now. Eventually this whole area, the raised platform and stuff, is what I'm calling the nature preserve. And it will eventually have, you know, some more cliffs kinds of stuff there. I think I'm gonna make like a river that will go do and fall on that side of the tunnel. And then I might actually have more cliffs and stuff over there. And then that A-frame, you probably recognize it, but you might not notice that I made it smaller. The scale of the A-frame was just too big compared to, you know, these buildings. It was as big, and you know, these are supposed to be like downtown sorts of buildings. Lego scale is messed up. Not messed up, but it's, you know, it's flexible. So I just made it smaller, made a whole video about that. Eventually this whole thing is gonna be like a forest. It's gonna be tons of trees, pretty tall. But yeah, that's it. So let's take this and put it there. Yeah, so the base plates that I used, the regular plates, the 16 by 16 plates, are dark gray. And so where you see it right here, see if I can get an angle in there where you can see it. There's two plates exposed here on the curb, and it should be the light gray, but it's this whole two plate, basically this whole side is all two pieces. And so if I were to fix that, I would basically have to rebuild the whole bottom floor. And I'm not going to do that, at least for a while, if ever. It really bugs me though. Like it really bothers me. And that's it for this one. I hope you liked it. Thanks for watching. If you did like it, you could help me out and leave a thumbs up on the video. It should also help you out because it promotes my video to more people, but it also should promote more videos like this one to you. I'm not gonna actually pretend like I know how the YouTube algorithm works, but I think that's how it's supposed to work. So if you had thoughts, comments, questions, I don't know what concerns you would have, but if you have them, you can leave a comment. That also theoretically helps the video out, but I'm also going to try something new this time where I'm going to respond to these comments with short form content. So if your comment's particularly interesting or, you know, warrants more than just a thanks or I don't know kinds of responses, then I'm going to respond like this, but you know, vertical. Anyways, like I said, thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time. Next time it'll be more of a normal video where I'm just building stuff and you mostly just see my hands and then I narrate a little bit. Yeah. Bye-bye.